everyone, it's Zara and I am back to film my rewind spread for the month of June, and I am going to be using a kit from Sunset Sticker Co. And this is my first time using a monthly kit from her shop, but I really liked the seashells and just the artwork in this. It's kind of a photo kit. And so here are the pages that it comes with. You have the June, for the top header. These are boxes to cover up these days in the month. You have some vacation strips and then some of the date flags. You have the other strip for the top, some more boxes to cover up days not in the month or just fun days. Then you have the rest of the dates, some holidays, paydays, bill dues, asterisks. Then you have some sidebar stickers and headers, more little skinny strips, some flags, arrows, and quarter boxes, and then you have a couple of icons. So anyways, I am going to put down like the basis of this kit. So the top boxes, the sidebar, and cover up the days not in the month. I'll probably also put down all of the little date numbers, and then I will come back and we will film, or the plans for the whole month. So I will be back. Okay, there's all of like the basis of the kit laid down. One thing to mention, the little check boxes in the kit I received weren't cut out, and so my sidebar looks a little jinky because I can't cut straight, but I did try to cut them out so that I could, obviously still fill up my sidebar, but they are a little bit crooked, so don't look at that too closely. But other than that, I really like how this is turning out. So, first things first, on the 1st, I actually moved into my apartment, so I'm going to use this moving box, or it actually comes in her mail sheet from EbeeGbee to mark down our big move and move in. Then on the 2nd, mostly all we did was unpack, but we did go out for pie, and obviously I had to put that down. This pie is from the sticker party, and it was funny because my dad and I both love pie, and so we were gonna get a piece of pie, and he's like, well, why don't we just get a full pie? And so then we ended up bringing like a full pie home, and it was so delicious. Then on the 3rd, it was basically still unpacking and just a lazy day, and so I ended up pulling out these from Nikki +3, and I was gonna use a green one just to mark down that we got our cable set up that day, and it ended up taking the guy actually quite a while to do it because I guess all of the cables at the box in the apartment, outside where all of them hook up or whatever, were mislabeled, and so it took him a while to figure out what cables actually went to my house. Then on the 4th, it was my first day of work, and so I want to use this little pharmacist sticker from Happy Daya to mark that down, even though I'm just a graduate intern until I pass my test. And then on the 5th, actually I do really look like her though, other than she has like a braid. That's like, I look really similar to that. So then I brought in these airplane stickers from the Paperly Bowtique to mark down that on the 5th. My dad ended up flying home from helping me. Oh, maybe not that one. Which one did I want to use? Maybe I was going to use this one. This pink is like a little bit too pink, and that's more red. So I will just use this one that's kind of more of a taupey pink. And then on the 6th, I ended up calling my grandma. She had a stroke on, I think it was Saturday, and so just called her to kind of catch up with her, see how she was doing, and like for having a stroke, she was actually doing pretty well, all things considered. And so I think I'm just gonna use, like, those are kind of big, maybe I'll just use just a phone sticker to mark that down. And then on the 7th, I got my first piece of Happy Mail in my new apartment, and that was from my grandma, surprisingly. Like, she has a stroke and she's still able to mail out you know, a letter to my new apartment, which is 100% like her. And then that is just from this mail sheet from JLynnPaperCo. And then on the 8th, I went and saw Ocean's 8 at my little movie theater to celebrate, you know, making it through my first week of work. And so I'm going to use this movie night sticker from Paperly Prints to mark that down. And then on the 9th, I went and saw a play, and it was called Shout, a Mod Musical, or The Mod Musical. It was actually really cute. And so I went to see that. And I have this little, it's from A Joyful Dream, and it's just like her little character sticker, and she has a raincoat, and she's like, has an umbrella. Doesn't really match with what the play was about. Like, it was in London. I think they might have been wearing a raincoat. I don't know. But all the characters had different colors. So it was like the yellow girl and the blue girl and yada yada. So I just thought this kind of matched because it's like she's wearing all yellow. She could be the yellow girl. I don't know. It just kind of like vaguely reminded me of the play. And I absolutely didn't have any like stickers, especially for the play. So I pulled that out. Then on the 10th, it was Tony's. So I pulled out my little freebie from An Actor Plans, and it has one that has a Tony on it. And so I thought that would be perfect for marking down watching the Tonys. And I don't even know if I'll even write anything in because it's kind of self-explanatory. But that was a freebie from my most recent order. And then on the 11th, it was basically the most exciting thing I did was take out the trash. It was my first time taking the trash out of my apartment because my dad had taken it out the last time. And so I'm going to use, I think, this red trash can. These are from JLynnPaperCo. And I'll just mark it down there. Sometimes there's nothing too exciting that goes on. So then on the 12th, it was my mom's birthday. But I also had like a leaky sink. And so I am going to use the little munchkin who's rolling her eyes because it was like I have a new apartment and already stuff is like leaking or, you know, like that's not supposed to happen. So then on the 13th, what did I write down? Oh, I had to fix my roof and I was really tired that day. So I'm going to pull in one of these from Bubba Bear Studios, and it's like her Eloise like tired, and her little hat says #tired, and she's like drinking coffee just because I was really tired that day for some reason, and I didn't really have anything too important to mark that day. So then on the 14th, I went grocery shopping for the first time at my like new grocery store place. So I'm going to use this little Fox and Cactus girl and put that in because she's really big and pink. And I don't get to use her very often because the pink doesn't really match with a lot of spreads. But this one I thought was close enough. Then on the 15th, it was The Incredibles 2. And so I'm going to pull out this movie marquee. This was from a River Street Stickers, like sticker book. And so there's that. Then on the 16th, my cable and internet like randomly went out. And so I'm going to use this little munchkin that says, "Today is canceled, go back to bed." Technically, it happened like at 8 o'clock at night, so I was going to be going to bed anyways. But it was weird. It like went out. I was on the phone with them for like almost an hour because I was on the phone with the automated like computer person that wanted to try to help me. And then I got a real person when the computer person realized she couldn't help me with my problem, or like nothing that she was doing was actually working. And then the person, you know, basically did the same thing as the computer, and then eventually just figured out that whatever it was she couldn't fix, and then someone needed to come out. Well, then it's like 2 hours after I got off the phone with them, or an hour after I got off the phone with them, all of a sudden it just randomly started working again. So I was like, I don't even know what to do. And so anyways, it fixed itself somehow, some way, but it was out for like 2 hours. And so I couldn't do anything because I couldn't watch TV. I like could have pulled out a movie, but I was so grumpy that it like wasn't working that I ended up just going to bed. And you know, I think I did some planning too. So then on the 17th, I ended up going out for Culver's, which is like amazing frozen custard and like butter burgers is what they're called. But it's amazing, and I'm gonna get fat from living like near a Culver's all the time. But I have this is from Geisy's freebie from the Paperly Boutique, and it has like a little ice cream cone in it, and I just thought that'd be perfect because I got a turtle sundae that day with my butter burger. And then on the 18th, they told me that I had the next couple of days off, and so I pulled out one of these little like pastel tassel banners from Rory's Sweet Addiction just to mark that down because, you know, it was kind of like, oh, sure, like, I'll take it, you know. The only bad thing about getting the days off is, you know, obviously you don't get paid when you're not working, but I ended up getting like a lot of good studying in these 2 days. So it all ended up being okay. Then on the 19th, I finally found my announcements. I had been trying to find where I put my announcements that said like I moved and here's my new address and all of that, and I could not find them. And then I finally remembered like what box I had put them in, and you know, thank goodness, because yeah, it was it took a while. Obviously I moved in and it took me like 2 weeks to find it legitimately, so, but at least I found them. And I'm like, obviously people know I've moved by now. And then part of it too is when I had ordered the announcements, my apartment complex had given me one address, and then when I actually came in and signed the paperwork, they were like, gave me the address, and I was like, this is not the address you gave me. Oh, well, we changed apartment numbers. Oh, well, thanks for telling me. So I ended up having to like mark on the really nice announcements like, no, it's the wrong apartment number. So you know, X that out and put the right one in. But anyways, so I found them. So I'm going to use this little Fox and Cactus girl who has all of the little letters, and she's like really happy and has the hard eyes because, gosh, that was how I was feeling. I was so excited. And then the next day, my like maintenance guy came over and told me, he was like, oh, your sink is still leaking? And it was like still leaking. And because I ended up putting in like a maintenance request on Friday, and I had said, you know, I haven't gotten any word that this has been fixed, you know, has been fixed or whatnot. And they're like, oh, you don't talk to the maintenance people to get it scheduled. Like, you have to call the main office and then they get it scheduled and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, oh, okay, and stuff. Basically, yeah, it got fixed, and like just no one had told me. Like, they fixed it this day that I had like noticed it and called him. And he was like, oh yeah, I'll take care of it. And then, like, they just didn't leave me a note. And so basically I put in another request. I had stuff, like all the stuff from under my sink, like out in my kitchen floor that I was stumbling over for a week and a half, or, you know, a week and a day. And it had been fixed the whole time. So that kind of made me a little bit mad, but at the same time, I'm like, I felt kind of embarrassed because I was like, well, I noticed that it like had kind of, I couldn't find it like the week when I had been looking, but I just thought that it might have been me. And then I was questioning, like, was it ever leaking in the first place, or was I just confused, you know? And so, so it's kind of like, well, whatever, it's fixed, that's the most important thing. So then I'm gonna pull in this little knife and fork sticker from Libbie and Co, and I'm gonna mark down, I'd made cheeseburger pie, which is like super delicious. It was my favorite growing up, or one of my favorites growing up. I was like super down. Well, I was like trying to avoid all of those stickers all in a row, but yeah, it's not coming up. So I made cheeseburger pie that night, and that was delicious. And then on the 22nd, I organized my closet, and that made me really happy because when I moved in, my clothes were the first thing that I unpacked because it's just easy to throw everything up, especially when they have hangers. And so I had like thrown everything up, just, you know, mishmash, whatever. And so it felt nice to just organize everything, so then everything is sorted by like purpose, like short sleeve shirts and pants and dresses and things like that. So I'm going to use that sticker from 472 in Maine to mark down organizing my closet. And then on the 23rd, I went to see another play, and this one was called Hallelujah Girls, and it was hilarious. It was like this one was a musical, this one was just a play. But it was hilarious. I laughed really hard. And so I'm going to use these little mask stickers from Enactor Plans just to mark that down because, once again, I didn't have any like specific stickers for that. And then on the 24th, I made muffins and I made like this really delicious peach chicken. So I'm going to use this chicken sticker from the sticker party because I didn't know where my muffin stickers were, or maybe I didn't have any muffin stickers left. It might have been that I didn't have any muffins left, but I did some like really good cooking that day and I was just delightfully happy. And then on the 25th, I got a huge box from my mom. And it was funny because when she was mailing it to me, she said, you know, I had it on the seat and the little seatbelt like indicator started like beeping at her for, you know, putting a seatbelt on the package because it was so heavy. So that came that day and it was ginormous. And it came with, I forgot a lot of stuff when I moved. And so my mom was sending some of my heavier cookbooks because it was a flat rate box and whatnot. So that was what it contained, but it felt like it contained bricks. It was very heavy. And then on the 26th, there was a frog. So I came back, I went and took out the trash and it was kind of like duskish. And I came back and there was a frog like on my like doorstep or whatever. Like right where my door opens, so it's not like I could just like walk around him and like quick run in. I mean, he'd probably like hop in if I opened the door at all. So I don't know, I'm afraid of stuff. And he was like a little brown frog, and I don't know, it was like a mud frog, or I don't know what you call him, but it wasn't like a cute little green ribbit frog. It was like a little tiny brown frog. And, but I like didn't want to pick him up because, I don't know, I don't like critters of any sort. And so then I ended up like getting a blade of grass, and then I was trying to like scoot him, and then he was like jumping further and further into the corner of where like my door frame was and where the door was, and I was worried that he would be able to like weasel his way in there. Anyways, eventually I got him like out, but then I was like frantically like ran into my house, had no clue that I had to be afraid of frogs coming into my house and stuff. So now I'm on like high alert, but that was basically my frog incident. And so I'm gonna use this like wide-eyed munchkin. I'm almost out of this sheet. I love it. It's the I'm so stressed out sheet, which is kind of sad that it's like that's one of the ones that I'm almost done with. But that was how I felt because this frog was just, I came in and my heart was pounding so hard. I called my mom to tell her the story. My dad was laughing at me, but yeah, basically this frog, scary stuff. Then on the 27th, I ended up like discovering the Spring Awakening soundtrack, and so I ended up like listening to it a whole bunch and listening to like certain songs on repeat. And so I have this little headphone sticker from 472 in Maine to mark that down. And it's partially an Enactor Plans' fault because she was having a sale on Tuesday, Monday, something. She was having a sale one of these days, and I was looking at her. She's like quote stickers or whatnot, word stickers, and one of them said, "Mama Who Bore Me," and I was like, man, I don't know what that's from, like what musical that's from. So then I ended up like looking it up, and then like I listened to that song a bunch like these couple of days, but then on this day was when I actually like listened to the full soundtrack, and now I'm obsessed. It's actually really, really good. So yeah, now it's like, of course I want to go see it in person, but I can't find like any productions that are going on this summer anywhere near me. So yeah, I'll just have to keep an eye out. It looks like they did it last year, but and like everyone did it, but this year, of course, everyone's gonna do something else. Then on the 28th, it was Mellow Paper Studio had a big sale, and she was gonna be in the UPS sale, but she ended up doing like a special sale before the UPS sale for her Facebook group, and so it had like a bigger discount code, more freebies, all this stuff. So it was like the best sale that I think I've ever seen her do, because she'll do like $2 Tuesdays, and she'll do, you know, like some percentages off on some of her new releases, but this was like 30% off, which was awesome. And yeah, the freebies were awesome because it's like, if you spent $50, you got a mini, like a, you know, her like more or less mini kit format. And then if you spent $100, then you got like the full deluxe, all the pages kit. I spent the full deluxe, like I'm getting the big one, because I was really, yeah, really liked it. So anyways, gosh, this one is like, how do I do this? Because it's like the box is, yeah, I don't know how to do this one. But then anyways, and so this sticker is from Exo Mama Plans, because I basically marked down that I bought all the stickers because I felt like I just kept adding things to my cart, and then I was like, okay. Then on the 29th, the air conditioning was broke at the gym. It was just a hot day anyways, and so I got to the gym and I was like, man, it feels really warm in here. And I'm like, maybe it's just me because I just came in from outside and it's really hot. And then today when I went to the gym, they had a sign that said that their air conditioning was broken. And so I'm like, I wasn't crazy. It was really hot. I almost spent like 10 minutes in the gym because it was awful and I forgot my headphones, and yeah. So, but that little girl is from Fox and Cactus, and she's in like a pool of sweat, and she just has like the little dead eyes, and that's exactly how I felt. I was so tired. And then I'll write it in like on the little photograph, and I'll just write so hot. And then on the 30th, I ended up doing like a full practice test, and so I'm using a little laptop sticker from Chloe Collectives to mark that down. So anyways, this is what I've used, or this is how like the spread turned out. Let me show you what I have left sticker wise, because obviously I don't use a ton of the stickers, like the boxes and whatnot, and flags that you normally use. I don't really mark down paydays or things like that either. I should have marked down my first payday. Oh well, I think that one was the day I went grocery shopping, so apparently grocery shopping trumped that. But anyways, so I still have like the arrows, the flags, the quarter boxes, the icons. I still have some of the headers left, and then that was where I cut out the boxes. And then we have like the last day of school. I didn't have a last day of school because I'm not in school, and then the Ramadan ends was the same day as Flag Day, so I just put Flag Day down instead. The paydays, the bill dues, some flags, and then I have these little vacation strips left as well. I thought about marking my dad, like him still being in town until he left, but I ended up just going with my memory a day like normal. So anyways, that was it for this spread. Thank you guys for watching, and I will just catch you in the next video. Bye now.